Hi, everyone. Hi, Diane. Is this too bright? Not sure if I usually have this light on or not. Wait a minute. Is that better? Really, it's kind of dark in here, and it only takes this one light. This computer must pick up a lot of light. I also noticed my window candle light is out. I have always had the electric candle lights in all the windows facing the road. In all my houses, I've always had that. But this particular one needs a new bulb. Yeah, well, I have a couple stories for tonight. And we had an ice storm here today. It wasn't near as bad as they said it was going to be. But, yeah. I had a doctor's appointment that I had canceled that was early this morning. I'm glad I canceled it because last night when they kept talking about this ice storm coming through, I wouldn't have gone to it. I would have canceled it at the last minute and probably be charged. But yeah, I pushed it off for another few weeks. I hate to go to the doctor. It seems to me such a waste. I have nothing to tell him. Anyway, I was trying to get my little sign here. My dog finally ate. She's out in her bed. She didn't eat last night. She didn't eat this morning. And she just was sleeping. And finally, she went outside. And when she came back in, she must have had a stomach problem. When she came back in, she was all happy and ate her meal. Grace Valentine. I think you're new. Hi. I've never seen your name on here before. I'm making a list of everybody that comes on these lives and where you're from. So, what state are you from? Jerry, hi. The hot topic tonight, I'm going to tell some stories about when I had an antique store. And I'm going to tell you how much it cost, total cost of the chipmunk damage in my car. And what else? Something funny about my cat today. Yeah. That's the subject till somebody else brings up something. Yes, it is your first time. Grace, where are you from? What state are you from? I have a list of everybody here. New Mexico. We don't have anybody from New Mexico here. Thank you for coming. New Mexico. Well, welcome. We get together every Thursday evening at 7 o'clock my time. I live in Ohio, so this is Eastern Standard Time. So I don't know what time it is in New Mexico. Earlier. It's earlier there. And yeah, then on Sundays at 4, it is another live video when I tell you what I sold for the whole week. I'm a reseller on eBay. I've been reselling on eBay for years. I sell on Poshmark too. Collected my Fiesta wear in the 70s. Ah, you have the real stuff. Now it's in boxes in the garage. Yeah. Uh, I have, I think, four little soup bowls that I use that are Fiesta. But other than that, I don't have any. It's 5:05. Okay. Yeah. So you're 2 hours different. Yeah. And Jerry, where are you here? I know you're on here. You're from Michigan and sometimes Florida. Are you in Florida or Michigan right now, Jerry? You should be down in Florida. Ah. It was super windy today. In fact, I went to go out to check on the chickens, and all of a sudden the wind started blowing so hard I ducked back in the house. I don't want to get hit on the head again. But yeah, my chickens are doing fine. I've been thinking about buying them this radiant heater thing that hangs over them. It's just radiant heat. It just goes up. You can touch it. It wouldn't be causing a fire of any kind. I do have electric in there, a place to plug it in, and it's a long thing that hangs right over. They get under it. It's like that heater you put in the brooder with the baby chicks, only this is a nice long one. It's for in a coop. I guess you could use it in a brooder, in a big brooder. But my girls are old now. And I think they have suffered this winter more so than any other year since they're getting older. Now, I don't know if it's worth this. This costs close to $150. This is called the Sweeter Heater. Sweeter Heater, if you want to look it up. And I would get the longer one. Ah, you have chickens too. You probably don't need a sweeter heater in New Mexico. Ah, how many chickens do you have, Grace? I only have 3 left. Ah, it's too late for me to get any new chickens, I think. Unless I'd buy pullets, and then they're so expensive to buy that way. But I have loved having them for sure. I've had them for the last 10 years or so. Mine are close to 7, maybe 8 years old. They're not laying for the past year. They haven't been laying anymore. So they're just pets. 7, yeah. I would usually have about that many, anywhere from 7 to 10. is where I sort of stayed. Yeah, then we had hawks, dogs. Yeah, several things got some my chickens. It was 2 degrees last week in New Mexico? Is that when Florida got the snow and everything? Wow. We weren't even that cold. Yeah, B, B E and then a H B H. She's been on the last couple times, and she came on beforehand and said she might not be here tonight. She's recovering from her dental surgery. She did fine, I guess, and she's taking lots of naps. But she was trying to remember, she was trying to, oh, you're up near Colorado. Okay. Are you in the mountains? She's the one that kept the little hummingbirds, the baby hummingbirds, and fed them. And she was going to send me pictures, but I have to send her my email again. For some reason, she said my email didn't work. I hope I put it on right. I'm pretty sure I did. I know it's working. Up in Colorado. I've been to Colorado. I've never been to New Mexico. See you next time. Very nice to meet. Yes, very nice to meet you. Come back again. Yeah, let's see. Bumblebee isn't here. Where is Bumblebee? Like I said, I have some stories. Bumblebee here on a different device. Oh, is that why you don't have the bee? Is that you, Bumblebee? I guess it is. Yes, it is. It's Bumblebee. Riri, hi. Debbie, you're out in the car. You caught me at live. You're in Florida, Jerry. Yes, as you should be. It's too cold up here until May 1st, although I sometimes fly home to visit family in the dead of winter. You don't mind, Nicole? I don't mind it to start, but when it drags out, if it drags out way into March, that's when I really start, minding it. I like the change of seasons. That's why I stayed here and didn't keep my place in Florida. So, yeah. Huh. Well, Bumblebee, I'm not used to seeing you like this. What happened to your other device? Jane Marsh is here. Hi. Hi. Debbie says, I am a passenger with hubby. YouTube quit on your phone. Says it's out of date. Oh dear. MCO. I'll just call you MCO. When Jerry's in Michigan, she is fine, but says burr every 3 minutes. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not out. Remember, I'm not out in the cold that much. Although I did go shopping for quite a long time yesterday. Samantha, my helper, was supposed to come yesterday, but she couldn't come. And I had planned on going grocery shopping, especially when I had heard about the ice storm coming. I wanted to get to the grocery store the day before. Uh, what else can go sidewinders in your life? Oh, sales are slow, yes. Although, here's the funny thing, I had 2 0 days, Tuesday and Wednesday. Today I sold over $100 worth. You just never know. Look at that. All of a sudden, 13 in the chat. Hi, everybody. If you're new here, say hi. And if you've never been here before, I'm collecting where people are from, what state. Huh. Yeah. Yes. So let me, before I forget what I'm doing here, I have 3 stories from the when I had an antique shop. 14. You still have those cute little emojis. Yeah, it was a surprise to me. One of the things was when I went shopping a few weeks back and I got all those hard goods. Well, not a lot, but a few. And I got one of the dishes. I got the stoneware plate, the pretty blue and white plate. I sold that. What a pain in the neck it is to ship. It took me, I swear, it took me 45 minutes to box that thing up because I'm not used to doing that. I had to run out twice to the garage to find a box to get it all padded, right? Because going all the way, of course, it's going all the way to California. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I have to have the bees. Uh, and what was I saying? That quick, see? I told you that my cat wouldn't get in her little bed that we bought her at Goodwill. Oh, the hard goods. Yeah, the plate. Okay, thank you. These people keep me on track because I'm 82. I lose my train of thought really easy. Okay, the plate. Yeah, it took me forever to get that all padded right, and it ended up weighing. This plate ended up weighing 3 pounds in the box. But she had paid quite a bit, in shipping, so I was still ahead to ship it all the way to California. So, yes, thank goodness. Brylan, hi, Brylan. Uh, yeah, so it is a nightmare to ship. I immediately came on. I hadn't bought my eBay things. I have a store subscription, so I can get some free things on the eBay store. So I bought a bunch of those. The size of box I don't have, which that plate would have fit in. So I bought boxes. Uh, I want to tell you what my car cost. Chipmunk's got, for anybody who doesn't know, I park my car, which is a 2024 Honda HRV. It's a leased car. I lease my cars just so I don't have a problem with them. But that doesn't count when you have chipmunks that go into your engine. That's not covered. So I had the same problem with the last one. I had a Honda CRV, the last car. I had the same chipmunk problem. Not quite as bad as this one. This little chipmunk got into my fan motor for my heater that blows hot air in the winter. And he deposited, or she deposited, a whole bunch of black walnuts, the hardest possible nut that you could put in there. When they opened it up, there were all these black walnuts. I showed it last week. And he had eaten my filter, or shredded it, because they use that for nesting, and burned out my motor of my heater. So then they found out there was some transistor or something underneath that was also shot. So total bill, $514. That little chipmunk cost me so far. It's early in the winter. So I am out there spraying peppermint spray in the engine, in the vents, in the wheel wells, around the car, trying to keep this chipmunk out of there. And I haven't been able to get any mothballs yet. The guy at the car dealer told me that at Walmart you can get these bags that they have mothballs in them, and you just scatter them around the garage. They're not that they can eat them. They don't eat the mothballs. It won't hurt them. It's just the smell. They also hate the smell of mothballs. So I haven't been able to find those at all, but I am going heavy on the peppermint oil. Hi, Janet. Yeah. So Donna Devlin, first time in the chat, but I've been watching for a while. I live in Southern Tennessee. You enjoy my channel. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll put you on my list. Donna Devlin from Tennessee. I'm going to have to get a new piece of paper. This has filled up this whole one, Devlin. Tennessee. What a beautiful state. Yeah, Tennessee and Virginia, Kentucky, all beautiful states down there. Yes, welcome, welcome. Please come back. I'm here every Thursday evening at 7 and on Sunday afternoons at 4. The Sunday ones have more to do with my reselling and what I sold. But you probably know that if you've been peeking. Yeah, so glad you're here. Let's see. Oh, my cat. Yeah, my cat wouldn't go in her little soft, squishy, like cave-like bed that we got for her. She won't go in it at all. If I throw food in there, she'll run in, get it, and run out. But she won't go in there and lay down. So today I moved it now to put it in a different place to see if that would, that would help. So I was boxing up that plate, and I had all these boxes I was trying. So I was taking a box back out to the garage, and I had thrown it next to the cat bed. And the next time I passed, there she is in the box. She's in the cardboard box. You know, cats love cardboard boxes. It's right next to the squishy, comfy one. But she'd rather lay in the cardboard box. So, what can you do? Well, I had a long time ago, when my husband was still alive, we had an antique store. And these stories are from when we were in Avon, Ohio. We started our antique store in a tiny little space in Hinckley, Ohio. And we were sort of partners with our best friends at the time for a short time. And then we moved for a short time to Strongsville, Ohio, in with another girl in a house. But then we decided to go to Avon because Avon was known for their antique stores. And they were one of the original areas that had what you called a candlelight walk. There was a whole lot of antique stores, and it was like 2 or 3 nights right around Christmas time. They'd have this candlelight walk, and you'd make most of your money for the whole year during this time. They had 4 festivals a year, but the candlelight walk was the biggest one. But the other 3 were good too, but yeah, the candlelight walk was the best. Anyway, so that's where we had our shop for about 17 years in Avon, Ohio. At first, we were in a tiny little house down in what they called Avon Village. And then when a space opened in the main house up on the main road, we moved up there. But these stories are from when I was in the little house down in Avon Village. It was just down the driveway. It was close. I would work the store every single day that was open. It was open every day but one, I think. I think we were closed on Mondays. And I was sitting at the counter at the front of the little house, and very few customers always. This isn't a big business we had. This was just, we were doing it a lot for our own amusement and giving us excuses to buy things and to go to auctions. That's how it actually got started. We loved to go to auctions, especially my husband loved to go to auctions. But I was sitting in there, and a young girl, I think she wasn't any more than in her 30s, came in to look around, and this little house had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rooms in it. And she was back in the back of the house. I couldn't see her at the point. And then all of a sudden, she just came walking toward the front and out the front door. And I thought, well, that's peculiar. She didn't even say anything. So I went to the back. I looked at her as she was walking across the path out the house. And, she didn't have anything in her hands. So I went to the back of the room, and we had bought this at one of the auctions, and it was a long brass, and it was in its own case. It was like a hard case. It wasn't a soft leather case. It was a hard case. It was about this long. It was a brass telescope, a real telescope. And when I saw the case there, I thought, So I opened up the case, and it was empty. And I ran to the front of the house and I couldn't see her anymore. And the police station is like s- not far away. I mean, I could walk over to it. I walked over to the police station and told them and described the girl, but nothing was ever found. So something was stolen right out of my little house right when I was in there. So that's the only thing I remember really getting stolen from all the places that we went. Now, I may have missed something, but that was, yeah. Okay, I'll tell you about my sales in a minute. I have to keep my mind on what I'm doing here. The other story I remember about this little shop was we had gotten a little tea set. I don't remember, it's probably at an auction. I don't remember buying it at like a garage sale or anything. I think it was at an auction. It was a little child's tea set, a really nice one. I mean, it was china and it was blue and white. It was a beautiful little tea set. And when we bought it, there was a story attached to it, a piece of paper and the story about this tea set. And it had belonged to a little girl that played with it all the time. And she had been really sick with scarlet fever. And this was this tea set came from the early 1900s, and she had had scarlet fever. So I kept that little tag attached to the tea set, and of course, it helped sell the tea set. I don't remember what we sold anything for way back then. And one time, I was I was famous for buying things too big to get home. Remember I told you about when I bought the the cast iron stove? Yeah, we kept that. I had to have that delivered. That was, my husband wasn't even with us. It was just me and my girlfriend, that was with us, the couple that owned the, antique store at the time, the very first one in Hinckley. But I bid on it because I just loved this little cast iron stove, not thinking of how in the earth were we gonna get it home. Neither of us had we just had cars. We didn't have a truck or anything, but there was somebody that came to the auctions all the time, and they were pickers, and he had a big truck. And so I won the auction for this big cast iron stove, and we pleaded with him to please take this to our antique store in Hinckley. So, yeah, I don't. I'm sure they were sorry they knew us at the time. But another time we were at an auction, my husband and I. This was a nicer auction. It wasn't the barn auction that we went to every week. This was a nicer auction, and my husband was off. He wasn't right next to me. He was off. Maybe he went to the bathroom. I don't know. But when he was not with me, I bid on this whole bedroom set. The reason being, it was when painted furniture was just coming into style, that shabby chic look. Uh, this was a beautiful bedroom set. It was an old bedroom set that somebody had painted, hand painted. I remember it was green with pink roses. I sort of remember what it looked like. It was a whole bed and a dresser and a chest, I think, a whole bedroom set. I bid on it and won it. And sometimes when you bid on things and you win things, big things like that, the audience claps for you. Well, the audience was clapping when Jack came back to the seat. And he says, "Oh my heavens, what did you pay for this?" Because he thought they were clapping because I paid so much, but I really didn't. That bedroom set, we had it maybe 6 months or so in that Avon shop in Avon, Ohio, that antique shop in Avon. We had it in that back room all set up, and I wish I had pictures. The pictures I have are probably on slides, but, anyway, it sold to somebody that lived in California. They had been visiting, and they they did as bad as I did. They bought it in Avon, Ohio, and they had to have it shipped to California. So, yeah, those are my stories that just happened to come to my mind today about my antique shop. Uh, yeah, that's all. That's the only 3 I had on here. Okay, my sales this week, I did okay on, no, not okay. On the weekend, I sold 2 things each day. Monday, I sold one item. Tuesday and Wednesdays were 0 days. Today, I've sold 4 things, and it's over $100 worth. So, it's just it's not good at all. I mean, it's not good. You know who I've been watching a lot on YouTube is, the guy that has the shed, one of the guys that has the shed. I'll have to, oh, what is his name? Something Picker. He wears a baseball, Commonwealth Picker, thank you. I'm so glad you people are here watching me. Commonwealth Picker, yes, I watch him a lot, and he makes me really wanna go out. They buy such a in every category, they buy stuff. God, yeah. And it just makes me wanna go out, and go shopping, doesn't it? I mean, everything he buys, I think he gets a lot of his going to estate and garage sales. I don't do that, but he gets some of his things. He says his Goodwill there is really not good, but I think he just came back, or maybe it was an old one I was watching. He goes to Florida once in a while and, uh, goes thrifting down there at the Goodwills down there. He says they're much better. The Goodwills up here are not bad, and my Goodwills in Medina are actually, the prices are better than in the bigger areas, like way up closer to Cleveland or to Akron, or, yeah. Oh, here's somebody new, Jane Joe. You're from Massachusetts. Wait, I have to write you down here. Massachusetts. I don't have anybody from Massachusetts. Ah, thought you might enjoy the YouTube channel Chit Chat with Granny Pat. Oh, yes. I've never heard of her. I have to write everything down, or if this goes away, which it does sometimes when I sign off, then I have nothing to go by. Chit Chat with Granny Pat. Okay, thank you. She tells stories and collects antique dishes. Ah, she's 88 and lives in Kentucky. Oh, yes, for sure. I will go see her. I've been hunting for somebody else in their 80s. Ah, yes, welcome. I'm so glad you stopped by. Mm, yeah, great. My little group is growing. Ah, like I've told you many times, you are the only people that I have to talk to. Let me get a Kleenex here. Ah, yeah. Ah, thanks for the assist. Ah, yes, I'm so glad you're all here. I really would like to go out shopping again. Maybe this week. Samantha couldn't come Wednesday, but she's going to come Monday, this next Monday. So maybe we'll go out. Monday sometimes is a good day to go thrifting in my Goodwill because Monday's the day they start putting new things out again. Friday they do the half price stuff. And then, but if we go to the smaller Goodwill, that means the Volunteers of America is right next door practically, and we can hit two stores at once. You know what else is over there in that same shopping center? Is one of those. It's like an Amazon store. It's like they get returns from Amazon. I've never been in there. That'd be fun to do with Samantha. I don't know if she's ever been in one or not. But I did go grocery shopping by myself. I went to Aldi, of course, first. And then I went to a regular grocery store, my favorite little grocery store. It's sort of only in this area. It's called Bueller's. And I really have always liked it. It's the one I started going to all the time when we first moved here. Uh, yeah. It was before Giant Eagle was here, long before Aldi's were here. And that was the grocery store I shopped in. The thing about this grocery store is they do a lot of their own cooking and they make up containers full of like home cooked meals. And yes, they are more expensive than buying Stouffer's frozen meals. These are not frozen. These are, they make up these dinners and put them out, and you buy them, and they're usually between $7 and $11 a piece. However, they're big dinners. I only eat a little bit. I can sometimes divide these into threes. That's how big they are. So I got several of those. Well, not several, like three of those. But that made a lot of dinners for me. So I froze some and yeah. So I got what I needed. So I should be good at least till the end of the month. Today I did go on to Walmart's site and order me some 2 cubic feet or however it comes. It was a bigger bag of potting soil because I'm late. I'm late getting started with my winter sowing, and I want to, instead of doing it out in the garage and freezing to death like I did last time, I'm going to do it downstairs in my basement. I have a nice big table down there, and all the jugs, everything is all, they're all ready to go. I have seeds and everything ready. All I have to do is get the potting soil, fill up the jugs, plant the seeds. It should be really fast. I'll try to do a video from the basement. Judy Fisher, hi. You do the same thing. Our local grocery stores have some yummy to-go dinner. Yeah, that's why I like to go there, even though their prices, of course, are higher than going to Aldi. But, I get the basic things that I can get at Aldi, but then I go there for special things. And their bakery is wonderful. Yeah, they bake better bread than me. Mm. So I did get I got some dessert. I got some donut holes, just just enough for me, and a piece of chocolate cake. So I'm set. Oh, and a bag of soup. They make their own soup. And then they put it in these bags, and it's about 4 bowls of soup in this bag. And you can freeze it or just use it up. So the soup I got this week was loaded potato soup, which is one of my favorites. Making myself hungry here. Uh, how did I like the Honda CRV? I liked it a lot. I have an HRV now, which is a little smaller. It's a better size for me. The CRV was quite large. I liked it. I'll tell you what I don't like about the HRV, and this is really irritating. There's no way to pop the trunk open, the back hatch open from inside the car. You have to get out of the car and open it. It doesn't pop open. That's so irritating, especially after I was used to popping the trunk in the CRV. Uh, but it is a little smaller. I don't need the huge CRV, but I really liked it. It's really nice. Yeah. Yeah, but I lease the cars because I can't, you know, I'm thinking maybe I should just buy old junker. I don't think I'd have as much trouble with uh the man at Honda said they don't get in the chipmunks and things don't get in the older cars as much, and they don't destroy things. He told me why, but I didn't understand why. But yeah, but I can't be paying this much money every couple months because the chipmunks wants to go store their nuts. Uh, Canadian guys here from Ontario. Hi, Canadian guy 79. You're not on my list here. Ah, welcome. Ah, You just found my channel randomly. Well, good. I'm glad you're here too. I had some other, didn't we have one other guy from Canada before? My eyelid is jerking. I also found out that is from low magnesium also. So many of my little symptoms I have is from low magnesium. Brylan, that's why I'm trying to take my magnesium every day. I also bought some spinach and kale and bananas, all stuff high in magnesium. Mm. Yes, God bless you too. We are a good God-fearing group here. And we would love people from Canada. Really. We the people, we love you. Don't pay any attention to the present. Ah, Debbie's, you're on here, right? Do I have you listed, Debbie? You have to be on here. Debbie, you're not on the list. How do you not be on here? St. Louis. I'm going to have to get another sheet of paper again. Ah. I filled up this whole sheet of paper and I have to start a new one now. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jerry. I always forget about that. Yeah, please subscribe and hit the like button. You have a family that live in Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm worried to travel with everything going on. Oh, plus our dollar is very weak. 65 cents. Oh dear. Yeah. Don't be afraid. We love you, Canadians. Oh. My husband was a huge fisherman. And up until he got sick, actually, he went to Canada every year to the fishing camps way up in Canada. I went with him once. That's a whole other story. I'm not exactly a really outdoor person. You believe God brings us together. You feel that He led you here. Well, good. Yes, for sure. Yeah, I forget Wawa. Is it Wawa? Is there a place called Wawa, Canada? It's some name, it's something like that. Yes, okay. They would drive to Wawa and then Pentawawa. Then they would, I think someplace around there, they would get flown into the fishing camps from there. I think that was it. Now, when I went with them, it was just me and the other couple that actually owned the antique store with us. The four of us, we went. And that fishing camp, because we didn't, the girls, we didn't want to stay in no tents. Uh, we stayed in cabins in a fishing camp, but we took the river down to the fishing camp. We went through rapids and everything. I will tell you about that sometime, about the moose and the bear. Riri, yes, Riri, God led her here too. Yes, it was fun. I do have pictures. I'll have to dig them out. I do have pictures of me up in Canada with lots of fish. Uh, it was a lovely time up there. But you had to go through down, you got in the boats. The boats belonged to the fishing camp, and they would come and pick you up or bring the boats up there. And then they were just two men boats. And so we had a boat, Jack and I, and then Gary and Linda had a boat, and then we had to follow them down the little river thing, and we went through several rapids. Now these aren't big rapids like you see on TV, but they were big enough. Uh, it was kind of scary to me, but then you ended up, you know, in this nice big lake area and this fishing camp with these cabins. Uh, my c- my channel is mostly about my age, being 80 something, 82 at the moment. But it started out being about my reselling. I'm a reseller on eBay and Poshmark, and about thrifting and my haul videos and that type of things. But then I started video, making videos about all kinds of stuff. I mean, I have shopping videos, cooking videos, several things. That's why my videos have never taken out off, because I can't decide what to talk about. But then I have these live videos. One on Thursday evening tonight uh, at 7 o'clock every Thursday. And then on Sundays is more of a reselling one at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. 4 o'clock is about what I sold the past week. You just read the channel description, things I love. You love thrifting. Well, it's a lot about that. Yeah. Long time ago, I had an antique shop. My husband and I, for 17 years, we had an antique shop. So I used to buy lots of antiques. We used to go to a lot of auctions and garage sales. We used to redo furniture. Heavens, I have an old blanket chest that I still use in front of my couches out in the family room that we picked up on the curb on garbage day. There was this beautiful old blanket chest sitting, and Jack came to a screeching halt in the car, and we picked up this huge blanket chest, and we redid it because it needed to be redone. Yeah, it was a great find. We found a few things like that. Um, we used to live in Parma, Ohio, and it was like the garage sale capital of the world. And after the garage sales, which were always on Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays. Then, like Mondays was garbage day. Well, Mondays is when everybody would put out their stuff that they didn't, sell in the garage sales, or they just, so we went around and looked on Mondays. It sounds awful, but we got some nice stuff. We never dumpster we never dumpster dived. Yeah. B, hi, hi. Oh, good. Okay. I'm glad my email worked because it should, there's no reason why it shouldn't have worked. Ah, no, Toledo is up near, it's a suburb of Cleveland, Ohio. And Medina is about 50 miles south of Cleveland, Ohio. Yeah, Toledo is way to the west. You don't live far from there. You live in Windsor. Okay. Yeah. Mm. I had forgotten the number one. Oh, in my email. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it won't work without that. Well, I'm so glad it came through. I'm anxious to see. Mm. Today, I just got in from Amazon. I had to send away for some sticker thing. Well, they're not stickers, they're cling things to put on my windows. My whole family room is windows, so I have a lot of bird strikes on my windows. And sadly enough, every once in a while, one little bird just kills itself because it slams into the window so hard. So it was this like a week ago, I looked out and there was a little junco, a little snowbird, the gray little bird with the white belly, laying dead. So I sent for these cling things. So they're little, and they're sort of, I don't know what you call that. They glow, not glow. They shine a little bit, whatever you call that. But they just cling on your window. You wet the window a little bit and they cling to it. So I put them on the window. They don't look too bad. I was afraid they, look ridiculous, but it'll be all right. So hopefully the birds are supposed to see these. So I'll see how hopefully it'll work, because there I am feeding the bird. I have lots of bird feeders out there. I don't want them killing themselves, coming to my bird feeders. I have one bird bath out there, which of course has been frozen all this time. Now, after the ice storm this morning, then it got sort of warm, and I was able to get the ice off of there and refill the bird bath with some water for the birds, because they haven't had water for a few days. Mm. Okay. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, come back. I do recorded videos too. You think you watched him before? There is a Cincinnati picker guy too. Right. Yeah, it wasn't him. It wasn't the Cincinnati picker. It was the other guy. Commonwealth. It was Commonwealth picker. I've been watching him. I haven't seen Cincinnati picker in a long time. So that is, what time is it? It's 8 o'clock. It's time for my cat to get her insulin. I'm so happy all you people came. Yes, I'm going to go look at those little hummingbirds. I can't imagine being able to do that. St. Louis Goodwill is not so good either. Yeah, mine are pretty good most of the time. Now, I never find those really, you know, bolo things. Uh, but they're pretty, the prices are better actually than if I go when I go get my hair cut in Strongsville. That's another county. And the counties are different. They price their Goodwills are different. They price differently. And the Goodwills in Cuyahoga County, which is up near Cleveland. Strongsville's right on the edge of that. And their prices are much higher than down here in Medina. So far, it's not that bad here. Yeah. Brylan, you have a good night too. Yeah, I'm going to be going. I'll be back here on Sunday at 4 o'clock. And hopefully I'm trying to get this video up uh, about my age. It's all written out, ready to go, but I almost have to read it. I don't know how that's going to go. So I will see you all live on Sunday at 4. Hopefully I'll sell some more things. Yeah, I do too. I don't have anybody else to talk to. I mean, I call my daughter, I call my sister, I call my son, but it's not the same. We could, I could do the whole Zoom thing or the FaceTime. I should call them on FaceTime every time. Hmm. All right, I will be back on Sunday. Thank you so much for coming and joining me. Bye. Thanks for the hearts.